Looks like Curtis is ready, so I'll call our meeting to order tonight. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No.
I believe there are none, so all those in favor of accepting the agenda as presented, please say... Oh, yeah, we need a motion, I'm sorry. We'll take a motion.
So moved.
Motion support, last chance for additions or corrections. Hearing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
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 Any opposed, no. Motion's carried, and we have an agenda. Roll has been taken. Check complete? Yes. Okay, thank you. Next up is Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone would please rise and join us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you very much.
Boss man got bored this time.
Now, we entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the organizational meeting of January 14, 2025, the regular meeting of January 14, 2025, and our special meeting of January 21st, 2025.
Move to approve.
And more support, are there any additions, corrections, deletions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. The motion is carried. Moving down to C, we're set a public hearing for Tuesday, February 11th, 2025 at 6 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the agenda allows, which would be for consideration of a request for a PA 198 Industrial Facilities Tax Exemption Certificate for Avalon and Tahoe Manufacturing. Your pleasure to set the hearing.
So moved. Set the hearing, please.
Support.
We have a motion support. Is there any comments, questions? Background from staff?
This is the expansion for production building B, and yeah, this is all set our hearing. They'll have the application in for our next meeting to hear all about the expansion and what they plan to do with that expansion.
Cool. Last chance for comments or questions. Hearing none, all those in favor please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. The motion is carried. We've set a hearing. We also get to set a public hearing for Tuesday, February 11, 2025 at 6 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the agenda will allow, which is for the purpose of determining whether the following described premises shall be designated and established as a commercial rehabilitation district under PA 210 of 2005, which is, the address is 130 West Superior Street, also known as parcel number 29-51-334-820-00. Your pleasure on the hearing.
Move to set the hearing.
Support.
Motion support. Comments or questions? Staff background?
Yeah, this is the former Ashland Portraits building. It's a single-story building. The good news is that we have a new business that would be occupying the space. It's a credit union known as Journey's Credit Union that would be taking over that space downtown. Yeah. So Gemini Capital, Ryan Smith is working on their behalf to help them out with this, with the commercial rehab district.
The Journey Credit Union?
Yes.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion is carried. Thank you. Moving down to consent agenda. Request for purchase. Consider a request for purchase to Vans Plumbing and Heating in the amount of $96,450, which is for the purchase of a replacement rooftop air conditioning unit for the library.
Move approval. Support.
Okay, motion support.
Yes. Dave Ringel provided a pretty detailed memo for everyone. We did reach out to 5 different contractors. We didn't specify a specific brand or anything and see what they could bring back for us. The 2 bids that we did receive back, Vans and Moore Mechanical, they're both within $350 of each. We're recommending as staff to go with Vans Mechanical Contracting. They actually put in the units when we built the library, and if we did go with Moore's, they have a different control panel and a different system. So to keep things consistent and working together, we're making a recommendation that we go with vans, and that way we can keep the same control panels and keep things consistent over there moving forward. We did, like I said, we did reach out locally to try to get some bids there, and there was no interest. And then the Hager Fox Heating and Cooling, they were not able to, we would not be able to do the project until well after April, so.
Okay, comments or questions?
Did you say it was one of 4?
One of 3.
One of 3? So 2 more possibly to go?
Some point down the road, yes.
Okay.
This was a smaller one, right?
Yes.
So the 2 bids, the one needed a new control system, and so, but we're planning on using, with this bid, we're planning on using the old control system. Is there?
Correct, right, Dave?
Now, the other bid can include the new control system?
Yes.
Would there be concern as far as using that old control system rather than
Would it
replacing
work
it?
for the other systems that we have?
It won't work for the other one, you said, I believe in the memo, but is there concern with using the old one? Is that gonna go bad in the?
I'm Dave Ringel, Public Services Director. Part of Van's quote was to upgrade the current systems as well, so they'll all work together. But the existing one will be upgraded as a part of this.
Okay, so the control systems will be new as well then? Or,
New programming, and then it works with the upgraded control system. And this control system, any of the commissioners remember back several years ago, it's been probably 6 years ago. We can remote access this control system too, so we can troubleshoot it without having to be in the building. That's part of it. If we went with the other bid, we'd have to have an additional control unit, we'd have to relearn the system all over again, and we'd have 2 different control systems to maintain. So that's what our recommendation is this bid.
I think my understanding, you were asking to make sure that the old system wasn't going to be.
yeah, is it obsolete? Is it
outdated.
obsolete?
No, it will not be
Replacing
obsolete.
it
This is upgrading your software.
shortly anyway, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, thank
Appreciate
you.
the additional information. And last chance for questions. Anybody else have anything? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion's carried, and we'll buy some new air conditioning and heating units there, or a new unit. Next, to consider a resolution to proclaim the month of May 2025 as Better Hearing Month.
Move to approve. Support.
And motion support. Get some background.
This is the first time they've reached out to us to request a resolution that we proclaim the month of May as Better Hearing. We do have an audiologist that does business here in Elma that has requested that, so we said we'd be happy to provide the resolution if the commission so choose to proclaim May as Better
My
Hearing.
laughter was at Roger saying, what? He can't hear, not about proclaiming it.
Yeah. But, our audiologist in town also has a couple other facilities, one's in Midland and one's in Mount Pleasant, I believe. So they just like to have that proclaimed here in Alma as well.
Okay. Last chance for comments or questions. Hearing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes. Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion's carried. We have a Better Hearing Month. Moving on to agreements, we're to consider a resolution to amend resolution number 2024-0333, which was previously adopted on December 10, 2024, which approved a memo of understanding with the Alma Public Schools for temporary housing of farm animals on school grounds. And this will include recommendations in the agreement from the Alma Public Schools Council as presented. Your pleasure.
Move to approve.
Support. Motion support.
Yep,
Now with the changes for us?
the main changes, well, they're not anything that will affect what we were really after, which is making sure the animals stay in the barn, that the waste is being disposed of on a regular basis, and that the animals move in and out as the curriculum changes. What we did add was the discarding of the materials, underneath the generally accepted agricultural management practices of the state of Michigan. So we added that language. For reasonable access to the barn for our purpose, I don't think it'll ever be an issue. We know everyone over there very well. They asked, the attorney asked if we could go 48 hours, said 24 hours is fine, it's no problem. And then under jurisdiction, number 5, that is a new piece there. When it comes to zoning and building, the state of Michigan oversees the public school systems across the state of Michigan, including colleges and universities. So their attorney just wanted to put in writing there that that there's, the word is uncertainty is what they used, the jurisdiction. But, working with the staff at the school, they all want to be in agreement with us so that as we move forward, as we discussed 2 or 3 meetings ago, that we have a memo that's specifically with the school district. This is why we're allowing animals to be within the city limits. So I don't have a problem with it. Our attorney didn't have a problem putting that there because the word uncertainty, and that's probably true, but it's not going to, we're not going to go there. If we had to, it would be litigated type thing, so.
We can still rescind this.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
We're still in the driver's seat.
Exactly.
Okay.
That was the only things that we changed.
Anybody else have comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. That motion is carried as well. Next, we would consider a resolution to approve the agreement regarding athletic facility use of the Euclid Street baseball fields between the City of Alma and the Alma Little League, which will be commencing on April 1st, 2025 and ending on August 1st, 2028.
Move approval.
Support. Motion support.
This is something we typically do on a yearly basis, but we met with the Little League last week and talked about the benefit of maybe just doing that over a 3-year period. They plan to do some substantial field improvements that we're going to work with them on and try to help get some extra soil over there from our compost and such to help alleviate some of those costs. But we thought the 3-year would be helpful for them and also helpful for them as they apply for different grants. So they don't have to, they can put this as part of their grant application that they aren't the owners of the property, but they are the long-term lease with them, so.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion is carried. Moving on to reports of officers, boards, and committees. Commissioners may receive the following reports by one resolution, or any commissioner may remove any item within the section for individual discussion and vote. Before us tonight, we have the Alma Fire District January 2025 draft meeting minutes, the Alma Police Department 2024 year-end report, the December 2024 building permits report, the 2024 year-end building permits report, the Finance fiscal year 2025 second quarter report, and the city manager's report. Your pleasure on receipt of those reports.
Curtis, you got anything? No? Move to accept 1 through 5.
Support.
Got motion support. Any comments or questions? Last chance. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Okay, motion's carried. We've received 1 through 5. Any thoughts on 6? Sure. Everyone hear from Eric.
Promise to be shorter, or you guys can say accept as is.
Can we get that in writing?
Move to accept.
Support. Okay, we have motion support. Eric?
Well, really, it's just first item is just a shout out to the library on the work they're doing on digitizing our microfilm of the Gratiot County Herald. They're making great progress. Current with the donation they received from the Alma Walmart and a personal donation that will actually get the project up to 1948. So coming right along, and we're very appreciative of all the grants and the folks who have helped us out with that project to this point. Downtown lot for purchase. We've had a discussion with the Alma Action Association, which is the Alma Marketing and Event branch of the Gratiot Area Chamber of Commerce. They have a fund balance, and they're discussing on what to do with that fund balance to benefit not only the community but the businesses as well. And instead of just buying, signs and that sort of thing. So after discussing it, a member came back and said, hey, the community cabinet sits the lot there next to 119 West Superior Street. Long-term, they might not be the business owner there forever either, so, what could we do to keep that going? And also, maybe that parcel could be used for something else as more of a public space, because it is privately owned at this moment. So we reached out to the owner and is willing to sell that to us. And then the Alma Accident Association is willing to be the organization in charge of the ongoing maintenance of that piece of property. That would be their contribution to our community. So what I would be bringing back to the commission, hopefully the next meeting, is a purchase agreement for that parcel of what we're agreed on is $2,000. The city would own the lot, and then we would develop a maintenance agreement, kind of like what we have really with Little League, that it would be taken care of and stuff, things invested in from Alma Action Association. But with the city owning it, it does also open us up to other opportunities for grants and things, since it is municipally owned. So just wanted to make you aware of that, and I think we got a good partnership there, and the community cabinet seems to be a very positive thing for the community, and a lot of people do invest their time and effort and resources to keep that going. So keeping a long-term home for that. And then lastly, sometimes we just don't have a lot of good news, but I wanted to provide that 2024, the chamber will be recognizing some new businesses and business improvements were made over that year. And during that time period, we had 13 new businesses come into the Alma and surrounding Alma area that the chamber considers the Alma area. And then 12 businesses have made significant improvements to their businesses in Alma during that 2024 period. And the chamber will be recognizing these businesses along with Alma Action Association this Thursday morning. So if you go down that list, it's, you kind of forget, because you get into your day-to-day of how many, that's a lot of different businesses that have come into, to our community. And then the business improvements, those are substantial investments that each one of those businesses have made. It isn't just, they just didn't put up a painted coat, a coat of paint or that sort of thing. And there were substantial investments in each one of those businesses. So just wanted to recognize those as well. That's it.
Okay, questions? Not hearing any, so those in favor, please say yes of receiving the report.
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion is carried and your report is received. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
New business, Alma Transit Building Expansion Progress Update. Brett,
Hey.
can you explain your drawing to us?
Yeah, sure. Well, that's, I am Brett Boblis, the transit director. This is $3.5 million. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but...
Sounds like a lot.
Yeah, sure. For my mouse. Here we go. So this would be the expansion portion of the building on the north side of our current facility. Putting it there will allow us to expand both to the east and to the west if there's future possibilities for expansion. So that's a good thing. This is where our maintenance bay will go. Currently, we vie for time on the lift down at the DPW building, and so us being able to do our own maintenance in-house will not only benefit the transit agency, also benefit the city of Alma. We're not having to give up a lift for my staff to be able to service our vehicles. This little portion in here is something that we haven't had. It's a training room, and right now we have 21 staff, and trying to cram my staff into our common area here, which is basically just on the other side of the lobby. It's not very conducive to a learning type atmosphere. So training is very important to me, and this would also give us the ability to host our own meetings without, I know Lori's very generous and lets us host our meetings at the library, but this would give us the ability to also do that in-house. But some additional parks, we're looking at putting some parking spaces across here since during our peak times, our staff take up almost every one of our parking spots to the point that we're parking over in the grass right now. So hopefully we can afford some parking spaces to go along with that. But questions?
That's the first question. I had one thing that when I was looking at your drawings there, your meeting space, that, is there a door planned? It looks like there's a hallway before you go into that?
Yes, there's a door here, there's a hallway, that's currently a concrete ramp out inside of our actual structure right now. So this building, this room will actually be in one of the first half bays.
Okay.
And there will be a mezzanine on the second story because the ceilings are so tall that we can store tires
Okay.
and other.
And my thought surrounded, would it be possible in that hallway to have like an exterior door on the one side and an interior door on the other that you could lock up so that potentially the public could use that, from getting in from outside without going through your offices and everything if you were to,
There is a door right here.
Okay.
That door will remain. However, it's key coded so that you have to have access to be able to get into that portion of the building.
But you could allow somebody to use it, I mean.
We could,
if
absolutely.
you
We just
wanted
have
do
to
that.
allow them in and out.
Yeah,
And with them doing maintenance in there, you just don't want people going willing.
Well, that's why I think, is there a door on the other end of that hallway going out into the wash bay?
Currently, no. There's not one proposed because it's 2 stories.
Okay.
I don't know how it
2-story.
because, yes, I mean, there's 22-foot ceilings. So this current room here is only going to be 10 foot. And so the second story is going to be an open mezzanine with some barriers so that people don't fall off, obviously, to store additional items that we don't currently have room for.
But you could have the second, or basically the floor of that second story or the ceiling of that room come all the way over, couldn't you, or not?
I'm not
To cover that hallway?
I'm not exactly sure. That I don't know. With the pre-engineered building, there's a lot that goes into it. We've been through several meetings, and structurally, they have rods that run the length of the building to hold the roof so that the roof can't give way. And there's also rods that run parallel this way that you can't cut. So, I mean, there's a lot of nuances, and I wouldn't want to hazard a guess what that would cost in addition to.
But you're building that room inside of the current structure, correct?
Correct, yes. So there will be a roof on it.
That's not going to be a structural room, is it?
But, oh yes, I mean, it'll have its own heat and
I mean, it
air.
doesn't support the roof, I guess is when I say structural,
No.
it's not.
No,
a load
correct.
bearing, it's not, there's no load bearing walls other than the load that's going to be carried on
On top of
top of it.
Correct.
So you're building it basically as a separate room inside the taller
Yes.
ceiling, yeah.
Yeah.
You might check with them and just see if you could make that, floor that whole thing over and section that off so it could potentially be used.
What are you saying it would be used for, Greg?
I don't know. There's meeting spaces always needed throughout town. And if you wanted to have some kind of meetings there,
We were talking about in the design of that, to close that off.
Because this is our current wash bay, so that's a good possibility that we're going to put something there because we don't want to drench whatever people coming out if there's some bus being washed. That's a good idea. I'd be happy to bring that up for sure.
Brad, I look at the whole thing over from a different aspect. Might it not be wise to put another outside door on that training area for fire safety? You only have one exit out of that room.
we want public there.
On the outside, yeah.
Yeah, over on this side?
To the outside for fire safety.
Oh, right
Yeah.
through here?
Yep.
That's a possibility. I'd like some natural light too, so that might,
Yeah.
that's a good question. Yeah.
Just some thoughts.
Sure,
Anybody else
absolutely.
have any that, I mean, you never know what you want to use it for, but just if you can make it as flexible as possible, if you can, for whatever reason.
Meeting room and training room, that is basically my
Yeah.
two.
Meeting space is always a premium, so.
Absolutely,
It
yeah,
makes it, even if it's just used by other city staff, it's
sure.
for a night meeting or something, might be needed. Okay. Anybody else, or any more to share? Sorry.
Well, I figured since I was here, I might take just 2 minutes more of your time. This is our current dispatch software. This is what we spent all this money on. And so what, like this here is essentially what we've done since up to yesterday, since this new program has been deployed called VIA. So I wish I could see my mouse.
You're on the other screen.
I'm on the other screen. There we are. Okay. So, and that's why when you notice our reports, our transit reports, they definitely look different now. And unfortunately, like if you hover on these, a lot more information pops up, but if I put it into a normal PDF, you lose all of that. So, some of the things that I thought were interesting that you might want to know, like since then we've had over 13,000 requests for rides, and we've completed 8,700 of those rides. And you think, man, that's a big difference.
You have 4,000 people waiting still?
No. So what happens is you see all of these portions right here, all these in red are canceled rides. So holidays, that was probably Christmas, and this was probably New Year's. So we have a bunch of rides that are pre-scheduled. So parents of students, they will come in at the beginning of the school year and say, I want my child to ride every day. And so we set those rides up. So we have to go through and cancel all those rides. But you can see that we have a pretty consistent amount of folks that will call, book a ride, and then call us back and cancel that ride. So I found that interesting. I knew it happened a lot, but now, it tracks everything for me. So, and the other piece of that I thought you might find interesting is down here on the bottom, and this goes day by day, but basically it breaks down where we're currently using our service, what kind of percentages. And so if you see here, the city of Alma, because I know the average is about 45% of just people traveling within the city of Alma. So they're going from one place in Alma to someplace else in the city. And Alma's in green, so obviously, we're getting the most use. But
people have been using it longer, they're used to it, they know how it works, and
oh, absolutely.
I assume that'll
and that's picking up. And so that brings me to tab number 2 here, because this is actually live right now. And this is one of the benefits of having this system is that as long as you have internet access, you can log in from anywhere. So, but this one here, okay, talk about cancellations. These are how these cancellations fall in as to what kind of a time frame they give us. Obviously, the more time that we have, the better for us, because then we're not putting vehicles and manpower to try to pick those people up. But unfortunately, we got people that try to call us after we've already been there and say, I need to cancel my ride. Yeah, and things get kind of hairy. But 0 to 3 hours is very common. Very common. Our app. So we currently have right around 1,200 active riders with our new system. As you can see, 800 of those folks have downloaded the app. So, yay. Unfortunately, not everybody is using the app yet. So I think they're kind of dipping their toes in the water. I've got a lot of parents that have linked either a debit card or a credit card to pay for the rides, so that they don't have to come into transit and do those transactions anymore. So they're very thankful for that option.
My daughter is extremely grateful.
Yes, yeah. We get a lot of positive.
There's many others.
There is. There really is. But this is, the days on which people are downloading the app. I thought that was kind of interesting too, and on what days of the week that they're downloading the app. So this is just information that our old system didn't give us. I figured it'd be something that you might want to see, but This is a live map right now of where our buses are. So we've got 2 buses out on the road, it looks like. And we got 3 buses out and about. My drivers absolutely hate this. As an administrator, I really love this feature because not only do I know where my buses are at, but this is our ride plan. So I know exactly where every driver should be, if they're picking up their rides on time. It's all color coded. It's very nice. It's so easy to use that I'm dispatching now. I mean, this is our cold and flu season, so routinely during those peak times, I'm hopping in so that I can send one of my dispatcher drivers out on the road so that we're trying to pick people up because it's flu season's hit us pretty hard, but I can't hover over any of these, but because it gives personal information out, but each one of those little check marks there is a ride that's been completed, and if you hover over it, it'll give the person's name, location, when they were picked up. I mean, it's all just at a touch of a finger. It's very, very nice. Oh, and apparently I had 2 of those open. But no, I just figured I'd take just a minute to show you what VIA was about, and hopefully it's making us a lot more.
Now, parents have the app and they see where their kid is on the...
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
good.
yes. So, and our new app, the Alma Transit app, so please download the Alma Transit app. And Google Play Store or the Apple Store. It works just like Uber or Lyft. So if you want to pay for your ride, you can link your payments in there. You can still pay with cash. It calls you or texts you or both if you like. Hey, your bus is 15 minutes out. You can see the little bus on the map when it's driving around. And then your bus has arrived and it'll shoot you another call and text. So
I believe you said earlier when you were talking that this actually logs the route for the driver based on the calls that they need to be picked up.
yes, they also don't like that.
Yeah. But the question comes after today when you start mentioning all those cancellations. When a cancellation comes in, it automatically reroutes
Absolutely.
the driver and says, okay, no longer you have to go lefty, now you need to go
Correct.
straight or right to someplace else.
Yes, and the beautiful thing of this software is it's continually updating itself. So if one of my drivers gets behind, it'll automatically take rides and put them in another route that can service them within the same time frames that we've given those people. So, I mean, I'm really big on customer service, and I know that, we're talking about a $2 ride, but that's important to me that, especially people trying to get to school on time, getting those kids home from school on time, it's...
Doctor's appointments and everything else, lab appointments.
Yes, and of course, this week we've had folks that, doctor's office calls, we close at 4 o'clock, and of course that's our witching hour. How do we try to get people home from the doctor's office when they're all buses full of kids? So, yeah, we try to be as user-friendly as possible, and I think this is really a big step for us to be able to provide that kind of support for our communities.
Okay. Anybody else have questions? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good
Absolutely.
information. We're glad to have it, so thank you.
Thank you.
I guess we don't need to receive that because it was on the agenda, so we're good. Appropriations, is there any interest in paying the bills tonight?
So moved.
Support. Motion, any comments or questions on those bills? Hearing none, all those in favor please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion's carried, the bills can be paid. Commissioner comments. Roxanne, your new chair, would you like to?
I feel like I'm in a whole different meeting. Sure. Well, thank you, Brent, for all that explanation. That's great that families can see where the bus is, where their kid is. We get lots of calls at the school wondering where their kid is.
I know.
And I'm glad to hear about the digitizing of the newspapers. Back in the late 1900s, when I worked at the state library, we had a grant to do microfilm. So now, 30 plus years later, we're digitizing that. So that's great. That's wonderful. So, thanks.
We're excited about it.
Yeah, it should be. Roger.
And thank you, Brett, that was interesting. I think most of you are probably aware, if not, I will let you know. Ryan Shook, thank you, couldn't think of his last name, that owns Hellman's, was burned out of his home in the past week. He lives in Farwell, has been trying to move down here for years, but it just hasn't worked. But it's been pretty devastating. They lost the house, they lost 3 dogs in the fire. There has been, there still is, I think, a GoFundMe page. Last time I looked at that this afternoon, that the $40,000 target has been surpassed already, but you might want to reach out to Ryan if you see him or whatever, and pardon Hellman's if they're not open all the time. He's a little bit busy right now, so. That's it.
Thank you, Roger. Tom? Anything?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Michelle?
I'm good.
Good. Sarah? Eric?
I did send out an email yesterday to the commission. If you'd like to attend the Capitol Conference, let us know if we can get in. If you can get in before February 7th, there's a discount. So the number that they had on the sheet that they sent out to you is high. So if you'd like to attend that, if you can, get you signed up. And we looked into the conference day. We can't sign up quite yet for the conference in Grand Rapids, which is in September. But if you can get that scheduled in, we'd like to get you signed up and head on down to Grand Rapids. So that's it.
Yeah, good information in both of those, so if anybody can make it, I'd recommend them. Okay, nothing to add. Yeah, thank you for everything. The information was great. Glad to hear that. And glad to hear you're on track with it. I know you spent a long time, a lot of hours on that building, so appreciate that. Are there any members of the public that would like to address the commission tonight? Gary?
No?
Just came to view.
Nice job tonight.
All right. Last chance for anybody else? Okay, I'm not seeing anybody come forward, so we'll entertain a motion to adjourn tonight.
So moved.
Support. All right, motion support. Any last chance for comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion's passed. We are adjourned. Thank you. Thank you for coming tonight. Appreciate it.